Terence Rattigan, born in London, was a celebrated playwright. He started writing plays when he was studying at Oxford University. He wrote 26 plays in his career, of which the plays French Without Tears, While the Sun Shines, The Winslow Boy, and the Browning version were hugely popular. Two of Rattigan's plays, French Without Tears and While the Sun Shines, have been performed more than 1,000 times each. The Browning version revolves around Andrew Crocker Harris, a much disliked classics teacher at a public school in Britain who is being forced to retire on account of his health. The name of the play is a reference to poet Robert Browning's 1877 translation of Agamemnon, an ancient Greek tragedy. The given extract from the Browning version features a conversation about Crocker Harris between Taplow, a student, and Frank, a young master at the school. The short scene allows us an insight into Crocker Harris's nature and the manner in which people speak about others when they are not present. Here is a summary of the extract from the Browning version by Terence Rattigan. Frank, a young science teacher at a school, finds Taplow, a 16-year-old student, waiting for Mr. Crocker Harris, a senior teacher. Frank does not know the student and inquires whether he studies science. Taplow responds that he is still in the lower fifth and that he would specialize only in the next term, once he passes. He does not know whether he had passed or not, since Crocker Harris does not announce the results early, unlike other masters at the school. He wishes to study science once he gets promoted. On hearing this, Frank remarks that the science class gets all the lazy students. Taplow protests and affirms his interest in science, but Frank replies that he himself has no interest in the kind of science that he has to teach. Taplow declares that science is more exciting than the book he was reading at the time, The Agamemnon by Aeschylus. When Frank asks Taplow why he thinks the book is muck, Taplow clarifies that he actually likes the play itself, especially the plot. What Taplow dislikes is the manner in which the text is taught, only as a set of Greek words to be memorized. And if one made mistakes, one would be punished. Frank notes that Taplow sounds bitter and asks him if he has been asked to stay back to correct mistakes he made. Taplow informs him that Crocker Harris has given him extra work, even though it is their last day of school. He finds it strange that Crocker Harris has time to give extra work, considering that Crocker Harris is leaving the school permanently the next day. Frank says that Taplow should derive comfort from the fact that at least he would be promoted to the next class for sure because he was doing extra work. Taplow responds that he is not sure because he feels that Crocker Harris is much stricter than the other masters. Here, Taplow refers to the teacher casually as Croc, but hurriedly corrects himself. Taplow goes on to tell Frank what happened when he asked Crocker Harris if he would get his remove. Taplow mimics Crocker Harris's way of speaking in a very gentle, rather throaty voice when Crocker Harris had told him that he had given Taplow exactly as much as Taplow deserved. Taplow further comments that Crocker Harris may have actually given him less marks and that the teacher seems to be hardly human. Here, Taplow realizes that he spoke too rudely and immediately apologizes. Frank then asks Taplow to repeat what Crocker Harris had said. When Taplow imitates Crocker Harris again, Frank sternly remarks that it did not sound like Crocker Harris at all. Frank then suggests that Taplow should just leave, because Crocker Harris is late. But Taplow is shocked at the suggestion. He cannot imagine anyone doing that to Crocker Harris, expressing his fear of the master. Frank admits that he is envious of the effect Crocker Harris has on the boys and asks if Crocker Harris beats the boys. Taplow responds that Crocker Harris is not a sadist like some other teachers. He further remarks that Crocker Harris seems to have no feelings and appears to dislike being liked in contrast to other masters. Here he again refers to the teacher as Croc. Taplow remarks that despite everything, he does like Crocker Harris, but the old master seems to dislike this even more. Once when Crocker Harris had made a joke in class, no one had understood it. But Taplow had laughed out of politeness. Crocker Harris had then sarcastically asked Taplow to explain the joke to the rest of the class. While Taplow is relating this incident, Millie Crocker Harris, the master's wife, enters the room and stands watching Frank and Taplow. Taplow is shocked when he sees Millie, but Frank is not troubled. Taplow is worried that if Millie heard the conversation and relates what she heard to Crocker Harris, his results would be affected. Millie asks Taplow if he is waiting for her husband. When Taplow affirms this, Millie says that Crocker Harris would be late as he was in a meeting and suggests that Taplow should leave. Taplow is reluctant to do so because Crocker Harris had asked him to wait. Millie then suggests that Taplow should come back after 15 minutes, but Taplow is worried that he would get into trouble if Crocker Harris returns before he does. Millie says that she would take the blame and then asks Taplow to go and get Crocker Harris's medicine from the chemist. Taplow finally leaves with the prescription. Taplow is a 16-year-old student at the school where Frank and Crocker Harris teach. He is a bold and impertinent person who does not hesitate to speak the truth or express his opinion about his teachers. This is clear from the manner in which he speaks to Frank about Crocker Harris, referring to the latter as Croc and even mimicking Crocker Harris's way of speaking. He also has no hesitation in expressing his dislike of the manner in which he is taught the classics. Taplow is also very perceptive. Taplow recognizes the true nature of Crocker Harris. He clearly sees the older master's discomfort with being liked. Similarly, Taplow also realizes that the other masters like to be appreciated. Frank is a young science teacher at the school where Taplow studies. Frank seems to be unhappy with his job at the school. This is obvious from the fact that he declares his disinterest in the kind of science that he is expected to teach at the school. Frank appears to be fond of gossip. This is apparent from the manner in which he keeps asking Taplow to repeat himself, only mildly reprimanding the student when he speaks irreverently about Crocker Harris. Millie Crocker Harris is the wife of Mr. Crocker Harris. She comes across as a very calm and composed person. She does not appear angry or irritated even when she overhears a student mimic her husband's speech and manner. Mr. Crocker Harris is an old teacher on the verge of retirement at the school where Taplow studies. Details about his character can be deduced from what Taplow says about him. He seems to be quite traditional and old-fashioned. This is clear from the way he teaches his subject. He has a sarcastic manner. When Taplow laughs in class without understanding his joke, Crocker Harris sarcastically asks Taplow to explain the joke to the rest of the class. It is also clear that he is strict, considering that Taplow refuses to even think about leaving when Frank suggests it. Mr. Crocker Harris appears to lack emotions. Taplow notices this, remarking that, unlike other teachers, Crocker Harris dislikes being liked. He is described as shriveled up inside by Taplow. Now let us examine the story closely. The main theme of the play is the perception of students about teachers. The play tells us how students can often be as perceptive about teachers as teachers are about their students. Students have opinions about the behavior and mannerisms of teachers. They can also be extremely appreciative of the true worth of apparently scary teachers. Despite Crocker Harris's dismissive and sarcastic behavior, Taplow feels that he likes him. A related theme is the manner of speech and behavior that people display when speaking about a person when he or she is not present. Taplow represents the casual and irreverent manner that students may adopt when they speak about their teachers when the teachers are not around. Example, Taplow refers to his teacher as Croc and mimics the manner in which he speaks. Frank, himself a teacher, encourages this behavior and only mildly reprimands the boy.